Welcome back. Today I want to show you how to use our Live for the Game Day amped effect. This is a great sports template that can be used with pretty much any sport. Today I'm going to use a soccer image, but it works great with all kinds of images, and it's a little bit different than some of our amped effects and actually really easy to use. So I just thought I'd step through quick and show you how to use it so that you can start using it with your sports images. When you first open the template, you'll see something that looks like this. It gives us directions. The first step is going to be to turn off the directions layer, which we'll do in a minute. You also want to add your image to the full photo layer, and I'll show you how to do that. And then number 2, using a black brush, paint in the layer mask of the sheet metal overlay, and I'll show you where that is. And this will allow parts of your image to appear like they're on top of the sheet metal, and then finally just edit the text. So let me real quick show you. This is what our final image is going to look like, and you can see how his leg comes over that sheet metal like that. And so I'm just going to show you how we do that. So this is just the blank template. All I've done here is turned off the directions layer, and then I'm going to find my full photo layer, make sure it's selected. I already have my image opened right here, so I'm just going to use my selection tool, and I'm going to drag it and drop it into my template and position it about where I want it to be. And then you can go ahead and just clip it into this layer. And so I use my option to clip that in there, and then just position it about where you want your photo to be. And then from here, now we're going to go to that sheet metal overlay. The really important thing to do here is to select this white box. This is the layer mask, and that's what we want to paint in. So just clicking on the layer isn't enough. You can see how when I click on the white box, it puts those little tiny lines around that, and that way I know that that layer mask is selected, and that's really important. Before I paint in that layer mask, I'm just going to take the opacity down to about 70% so that I can see that leg back in behind there. This is going to do a couple things. One, it's going to let me position my image where I want it before we get started. So like in this case, actually I think I'm going to bring him up just a little bit here and slide it over. And once I'm happy with where my image is, the next thing it's going to let me do is help guide where I'm going to paint out. So again, I'm going to click on the white box, make sure I have that layer mask selected, and then I'm going to get my brush tool, and I'm going to make sure that I have black paint selected, and then all I'm going to do is paint where I want that leg to show through. And you can just really carefully, in this case, makes sense to absolutely zoom in and kind of get that area, and it's a little bit hard with the opacity change I made to see exactly where I'm painting, but what I'm going to do now is just bring that opacity all the way back up to 100%, and as you can see, I've painted out my leg. Now I've got some highlight areas there that I'm going to want to fix up. So all you have to do that is just switch back to a white brush, and I'm going to make mine a little bit harder so I don't have quite so much glow, and then I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller as well, so I can just get in there and touch up some of those edges. And I'm doing this pretty quickly to be able to show you in the video, but if you just take a little bit of time and just do this one little piece, it really is a very cool effect. And the nice thing about this particular template is you don't have to cut out the entire person from the subject. In this case, we're just doing like this little leg area. You know, it might be another piece in another image, but you don't have the whole photo to work with. You can just do that. And then if I zoom back out so you can see the whole thing, this is what we end up with. And the only thing left to do is to just customize the text for your image. So it's a really cool template, super easy to use.